there, it's Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Look where I'm at. We're back home. Well, for those of you that were able to follow along, that was a pretty epic trip. Yeah? I'm really glad to be home because I missed my space. And of course, some yarn showed up while I was gone. I don't know how that happens. Apparently, Amazon, the internet worked just fine if you're on a ship or in Australia or pretty much anywhere. Shows up and it just arrives. It's like magic. It's like Christmas already started. It's very exciting. But I wanted to tell you what I've done and what I've got going on. First of all, I have to show you, for those of you, my friends, my fellow comrades in crochet, who live down under, who live in Australia. There might be some people in New Zealand. You guys were great sending me tips about, make sure you get this and check out this and try these foods. And I did my best to find everything that you talked about. The one thing I couldn't find was the chocolate covered pineapple something. I don't know what that was, but that looked really amazing. If it was like a candied pineapple dipped in chocolate, let me know. I might be able to find those here. But these are my favorites. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you, as a Allen's candy expert, the killer pythons are the ones you want, not just the regular pythons, because that's just one flavor. The killer pythons are really long and they have all the different flavors in them. Now, somebody said that these were from New Zealand. I don't know if that's actually true, because it says here that they're from Australia. So we're going with the Australia. If you guys know different, let me know. But I came home with several packets of these. And of course, you got to get the retro party pack. Family size, because I don't know when I'm going to get to go back there. So, but these guys are amazing. You know what I like is they have really good flavor, but not like a ton of sugar. Not like we have here, where they just like jack you up with sugar and you go on these wicked sugar highs. These actually taste pretty good. And these got me through a lot of walking and tours. We did an average at least easily 5,000 steps a day when we weren't even trying, but we were averaging between 10 to 20,000 steps a day. That was a lot of walking. First time I actually came back from vacation and had lost weight. Like, what is that about? That's amazing. So, I guess I just need to go on vacation more often. That was amazing because I ate pretty much everything I wanted and I was still able to lose weight. All right. A couple other things that I just need to talk to you guys about and to identify with. Can we talk about these, please? What? Now, I will tell you that these have made it across the pond, but only one flavor. Only the milk chocolate with the chocolate inside. But y'all over in Australia have these with the salted caramel, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, raspberry inside, mint inside, regular caramel inside, chocolate with chocolate. Like, incredible. These were even at the airport. 4 packs for 20. So they were like $5 a piece. But we came home. This was one of our big souvenirs. We came home with pretty much like every flavor. And then when the Brit was like, we're done, I was like, I threw a few more in there because they're delicious. Now, I've heard that if you drink it with like, if you have it like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, maybe even a cup of hot cocoa, and you bite off the corner diagonally, and then you stick it into your drink and you slurp it, the chocolate will like ooze through. This is a very soft chocolate. Let me tell you, every time I went to touch it, and I'm not super hot-blooded, but my fingers would get kind of melty. So, but these were amazing. We brought back a ton of those. These are a little bit off of the beaten track. I just want you to know, but I had to bring them back. So, personally, I like Vegemite. I can do Vegemite. Really, really thin layer on a piece of buttered toast. That's how I like it. The Brit, who is obviously from England, he doesn't like it because it reminds him of, in the UK, it's called Marmite, but in Australia, it's called Vegemite. Now, I really don't know if this thing is all of that healthy for you. I don't know. I think it would have probably a lot of sodium because it's pretty salty. But do And I was watching some YouTube or something about some guy who I think is dating Taylor Swift. I think. And he might be from the UK. He might be from Australia. I'm not really sure. Anyways, he said these are like his crack, and he orders these by the case and has them shipped to him, which I know is not cheap. So I specifically looked for these and brought back just this one box. And these are also from Arnott's. Do you know who else makes Arnott's? Or you know what else Arnott's makes? These guys. So I'm going to try one of these Tim Tam snacks. And they had different flavors. My friend had the pizza and whatever. I haven't tried any of them, but I only brought back this one. Their shapes. Okay. So I'm going for it, people. This is the Arnott's shape Vegemite and cheese. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can get behind this. Oh. I can totally get behind this. Wow. Not super salty, not super cheesy. I think it's like a cheese snack that has like a cheese cracker that has Vegemite on it. These are good. These are really good. Okay. I'm on board with these. I should have probably got other flavors. They had like pizza and they had, I think, chives. And you guys are, okay, this is a whole other subject. You guys are crazy about your chicken flavorings. I'm going to get to that one in a minute. But, yeah, this is good. I can do that. All right, guys. Big fan of these. Wonder if I could get a sponsorship from Arnott's. Maybe. I'll look into that. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, so these guys, these are awesome. I do like these a lot. Not too Vegemite-y. All right, let's have a convo about chicken salt. What the heck? Now, for those of you in the U.S., you're going to like, what the heck are you talking about? Everywhere I went in Australia, number one, let me tell you, your French fries are on point. We went like across the whole country, almost around the whole perimeter. It was amazing. Every place we went, you guys have, seriously, hands down, best French fries I've ever had in my life. And the Brit totally agreed with me. Like, they weren't greasy. You get the big, thick, steaky ones, you know, but they have like good flavor in them. I don't know. Maybe the flavor was this guy. Maybe they had chicken salt, even though they didn't say it. So chicken salt. People were like, oh, you got to get chicken salt. It was like this weird urban thing. Everyone's like, oh, if you had chicken salt? I'm like, okay, seriously? What the heck is it with this chicken salt? I went in this really cute little dress shop, Tambourine Mountain, which if you're in Australia, you might know, but it's in the Gold Coast. It's sort of like 45 minutes or so outside of the Gold Coast. It's in a rainforest in the mountains. Beautiful. So we spent the day there. And I went into a little dress shop. I bought a really cute little pair of pants. And then she had this on the shelf. And I'm like, well, hold on. Is this that chicken salt stuff that everyone talks about? She goes, yes. I'm like, why do you have it in this kind of bougie dress shop? Well, apparently this particular brand, Tweed, is Australian, born and raised, grown. And they have some little farm somewhere in Australia. And they have entered, I guess, several competitions, and they are known for their spices. And they had a bunch of other things. They had like a jerk chicken, I think, and a barbecue seasoning and blah, blah, blah. I wasn't interested. I mean, I can get those anywhere, right? But I thought, okay, when in Australia, so I bought myself a jar of this chicken salt. And I'm smelling seasoning salt. I didn't try this yet. Sorry. It's good. I swear. I have a little bit of a residual cough. No, that's actually pretty good. Obviously, it's a salt. Salt makes me, cough a little bit. It has Australian sea salt, first ingredient, onion, paprika, garlic, sumac, celery. It definitely tastes of celery. mustard flour, and it's made from local and imported ingredients. Okay, 100% Australian made. This is amazing. But let me tell you guys, this chicken salt, she almost talked me into buying like every jar she had. And it wasn't, well, it was like $11.95 Australian dollars, which is like 8 something US. She says, you're going to be sorry you didn't buy more. And I might actually be sorry I did. Excuse me. I didn't buy more. But it's really nice. It's like a seasoning salt. And you put it on everything. From potatoes, like wedge potatoes. She said you sprinkle a little bit of it, like on chicken if you want. But it says here chicken and chips. So I suppose you could put it like on fried chicken or something like that. And then chips, which in Australia and the UK, chips are what we know as French fries. If you want a potato chip, those are called crisps, just so you understand the difference. So crisps equals potato chips. Chips equals French fries. Okay, just for my U.S. friends and those people who don't know the difference. This is good. This is good stuff, y'all. So, I mean, yeah, I came back with some yarn, but hello, I came back with some good stuff as well. And these are my jam. I'm loving these guys here. And then, hello, we probably came back with like 7 or 8 packages of these. The other thing we came back with, because the Brit, of course, is from English, and with the holidays, you know, in Australia, which is weird because this is your summer. That was weird. They have a lot of Cadbury chocolates, which we can get here, but it's a different it's actually made from a different company here in the US than it is in the UK and even Australia. And the chocolates are amazing. So the Brit, we had to buy an extra suitcase, and it was chock-a-block with a lot of Cadbury and all kinds of chocolates and party mix and crisps and Twizzle. I mean, all kinds. I couldn't even carry them all up here. So anyways, thank you guys so much for your recommendations, for stuff to try. Y'all didn't tell me about the chicken salt, though. I got to tell you, nobody commented about the chicken salt. Someone did comment about the Vegemite, and I like Vegemite. I'm a big fan. Anyways, it was an amazing trip. It was truly, truly an amazing trip. Very glad to be home, just because, you know, it's good to be back in your own space. It's a really lovely thing. And so that was really good. I gotta just put this out here. I'm sad. My puppy passed. My little Molly up there. She passed. We were gone. Actually, she passed on the day we came home. So I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. But I'm not going to go there. She lived a beautiful, good, long life. So, and she was with my mom. And that's where she loved being, except for, you know, with me. So, you know, that was good. But anyways, that was a little hard. That was a little bit hard. So let's talk about crochet. Let's talk about what I've got going on, what I finished, and what I've got coming up for this week. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys, a while back, I showed you about this blanket that I was starting for a friend, and it was in this variegated blue yarns. Well, I finished it. It's trying to be more of a lap blanket, but I'm loving it. And I added a little border to it. So basically it's not very big. You can see, and I think this was 2 cakes worth. But I did a variety of stitches. So I did some basket weave in here. Actually, I have to flip it this way so you can see. So I did basket weave here, and I did some bobbles here, down here. Then I just did some regular single crochet here. I did the waffle stitch in here. I did some rippling here, and then I repeated there with the basket weave, a bobble, but it was more of a diamond. Then I went into a front post drop down double crochet, another of a wave pattern going on here, another basket weave. This one was interesting. It's like a little bit of a cable stitch coming down like so. You guys can see that. And then I finished the whole thing off with this really interesting ribbing, which I like to do on blankets because it just gives it a really nice finish. And I'll show you how it really, and it wasn't difficult. I actually finished, so you see here. So it's just this nice little ribbing that you just go, and it's a single crochet, but you're going into the back loop only, and you just kind of go up and down, up and down. You can make the ribbing as big or as small as you want. I just did 5 stitches, so I just made it somewhat small, but it was good for this size. But this is done, and it just gave it a really nice finish. And this was just a yarn that I had here. I didn't, this in here is the variegated, and this was just something that I had, but it turned out really nice, and I'm excited about this. So this is done. This is going to go in the mail, pop it into the mail for my friend. I think I told you she lives in Colorado. And so I thought this would be good. Just a little lap like. It's not a full-size Afghan, which is perfectly fine. But see, you can see all the different designs and stuff. I really like how the variegated was able to still highlight the different stitches that I did. So you can see there the waffles, the ripples, the diagonal on the bubbles, you know, more of that blanket or the basket weave stitch and things like that. So I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be really well received, shall we say. So this is going in the mail. So I wanted to show you this, that I did finish it. But see here, I mean, look at how great that basket weave really shows up. So this week's tutorial is actually going to be on the basket weave. And I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to do it, this is my strip, and we're going to continue to do it on this. But we'll talk about how it can really change it up to do a variegated, and even just, you know, in a plain, and then your different applications, you know, like what you could do with the basket weave stitch and the appropriate size yarn that you might want to use for it and things like that. So I wanted to show you this guy. This is a weight of 4, I believe this was. Yeah, I think this was a weight of 4. It was either a 3 or, no, I think it was a 4. This is definitely a 4. And with a basket weave, you want to use, in my opinion, a weight of like a 3 or a 4, because it's a stitch that's going to give you some structure. And so depending on the application, like what you want to do with it, you probably want to use something a little bit thicker for that. So, but we'll talk about that in the tutorial. So this is the first one that's done. This is going over here, going in the mail. The next thing I'm doing, so I don't know what happened, but for some bizarre reason, my brain left my head, and I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to give everybody Afghans this year for Christmas? Stop the insanity in my brain. Because who does that? Who makes Afghans for everybody? That's a little insane. So anyways, thank goodness one of them is done. The next one I'm doing is for my son who is in film. This one is insane. So this is what I'm making. It's one of these clapper boards because he works in film. All right. But can you guess these colors? Right? Clapper boards. What are they? Black and white. Who makes an Afghan in black? I despise using black yarn. Despise it. Like if I was going to be kidnapped and tortured in the most awful way, it would be somebody who would say, all you can use for the rest of your life is black yarn. That would be it. That would be one of the most awful things I could possibly imagine somebody doing to me. But here we are, making this blanket. And so I can't really, I mean, I can do it at night, but it's really hard because you don't even see shadows. My husband, the Brit, was saying, yeah, you don't even have shadows. Yeah, like, you know, when you're using another, you know, whatever, you can see the stitches because there's like shadow casting. Not on black, people, not on black. Anyways, but I've made good progress on it. So this is the bottom part, you know, where it goes the 3. It's big. It's going to be big. That's the 3 down below. And then I did this first part here, right? So I have to finish this top piece here, which I'm about halfway through this. Actually, if you look at it here, I finished this part down here and this part in here. I'm about halfway through this part. And then I have to do this part up in here. And then I'm just going to do probably like a chain for the lettering. The good news is that my son lives locally, so I'm going to see him for Christmas. So if I end up having to finish this thing on Christmas flippin' Eve, it's not going to be the end of the world. So I'm vacillating. I'm splitting my time between finishing this one and then the big one that, you know, I worked on the ship, which I'm going to talk about in a second, because that one does have to be put into the mail because that's going to Colorado. Anyways, this is a very big blanket. It's going to be a really big blanket. It's nice and warm. I really love how this is working up. This is a weight of 4, I know, and I'm using the Schitt's Creek yarn for this. And it's just, I'm loving, loving, loving. And for those of you that don't live in the U.S., I don't know if you can get a hold of this Schitt's Creek yarn. Style Craft would probably be a really great option for you. It's a really good, it's your mass market acrylic friend in the UK, in Australia, New Zealand. I think you can probably get it pretty much anywhere in Europe. You can even get it here. I really love Style Craft or Paintbox. Paintbox is also a really good one. So if you can't get this, you know, any nice acrylic, but this is what I'm finding with this is it's not pilling. It's really soft. And it has a nice like density and a warmth to it, which I really like. So this is perfect for blankets and things like that. So I'm just buying up, and it kind of continually goes on sale. As a matter of fact, if you live in the US, Lion Brand is currently offering this where you can get 3 skeins for $12. And they have a variety of different types of yarns, but you can only get like specific colors or specific brands. It's in their clearance section on Lion Brand. So if you're interested, go check them out. I just bought a bunch more of this yesterday, just because I really love how this works up. I want to have this in my inventory, in my stash, so to speak. So that's what I'm making with this blanket here, and then the yellow and gray one that I'm doing, as well as this Lion's Brand. I really like it. So again, for those of you that can't get your little paws on Lion Brand, I would recommend Stylecraft or Paintbox and get the weight of a 4, and then you should be fine. They feel very similar to me. Just make sure that you are getting it in a weight of a 4. So this I'm working on here. I'm going to continue to show you my progress on this project. That's what I'm going to do. All right. If anybody worked with black yarn before, comment below, and I share your pain. I totally share your pain. All right. Next, while I was on the cruise, you guys know that I was working on the blanket. I've shown you this a bazillion times. This one here is like a structured straight bobble stitch. Some kind of go at a bias and an angle. This one is going straight up and down. This one, I can't remember what the stitch was called. This is the back side of it, and this is the front side. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember I liked it. So I have to finish this stretch, this piece as well. And then these 3 pieces. Oh, how did you get in there? Knitting needle. These 3 pieces were done. So once again, the alpine stitch. Actually, it goes this way. This is the alpine stitch. This is the front side of it. Then I did the, I think it was called Waves for Days or something like that. This is the ripple stitch. It's a wavy stitch. And then this is the ripple stitch. So these strips are done here. But I have to finish the basket weave stitch, whatever this one is, I forget, I'll have to let you know. The bobble stitch I have to finish as well. And then I probably want to do 9 strips for this. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got to come up with another 3 patterns for this blanket, and I'm going to put it all together. So you guys are going to see a lot of this. So while I was on the cruise, knowing what I needed, I ordered a bunch more of this, and it arrived while I was gone, which is so excellent. Yeah. So I have a bunch of this and this. These are the colors that I'm using for the blanket, which I think are going together really nicely. So that's what I'm working on. So we'll keep seeing lots and lots of that stuff. All right, so that goes there. I'm going to, and now, I want to show you what we're doing this week. So, as I've said before, I am doing What's Up Wednesday, which is this. Hello, welcome to Wednesday, or Thursday, if you don't live here. And I'm going to do Tutorial Thursdays. So what are we doing this week? This week, we are going to do the basket weave stitch. Okay, and as you can see, I've been doing it a lot lately. I love this stitch for blankets. It gives it this really great texture. It's so simple once you get the hang of it. So we're going to be doing this tutorial this week. All right, and as I showed you, you can do it in a variegated, but you can also do it in a solid color as well. And then I'll show you some applications because you were like, okay, what yarn would you use? What application would you use? So we're going to talk about that as well. So this week's tutorial is going to be on the basket weave stitch. And you guys are going to, I think you're going to like it. It's one of my favorite stitches. It's very simple, but it just really gives this cool texture. The only tricky part you really have to watch out for is just make sure that you get your stitch numbers correct. So your squares all look the same. That's all. Like you have to make sure you do 4 rows on, 4 before you change it up and stuff like that. So your squares stay the same. That's pretty much it. So we're going to go over that one. The other thing I want to do, let me just gush again about Australia. You guys are so nice. So nice. So friendly. It's like anybody you meet. Here's a caveat. That is from Australia. Now, I met a couple people, the wait staff specifically, and hotel staffs and that kind of stuff, who aren't from Australia. I've only met 2 people while I was there that were actually rude to me. And that doesn't fly well with me. But they weren't from Australia. One was from France. Actually, 2 were from France. And one was from Mexico. Maybe they were having a bad day, but they were just rude. And I was like, I don't like you. No need to be rude. No need to be rude. I certainly wasn't being rude. I was actually ordering a drink. Walked up to the counter, whatever, and she kind of, whatever. Anyways, but everybody I've met from Australia, so nice. It's almost like you meet them and next thing you're like, hey, we're friends. And you love your country. And you love your animals. Even all the deadly ones. I only saw one deadly one, and that was a brown snake. But he was sunning himself. He wasn't even arched up like he was going to bite. But apparently they're super venomous, like 10 times worse than what we have over here, which is a rattlesnake. And the worst thing is they don't make any noise. They just go for you. And you that's it. You're dead. The Brit will tell you he wasn't going to step on it, but I will tell you I saved the Brit because we were walking on Rottenest Island, and it was over in the dirt. And if he wanted to strike the Brit, he could have lunged and got him, but he was sleeping. But still, I saw the snake, and he didn't. And I said, don't go that way. Anyways, what else do I love about Australia? So much. But you guys have the best magazines. Oh, my goodness. This one, if you guys are in Australia, this is still on your newsstands. Check it out. It's Better Homes and Gardens, but it's the All I Want for Christmas issue. And the recipes in here are epic. I mean, they are seriously, look at this meringue tree. This thing is amazing. And the recipes are just the bomb. But they had this adorable section on crochet. Oh my goodness. And so you got this, and the patterns are like right inside here. You got this adorable little Santa sack with a reindeer. These guys over here, pay attention, because I'm going to do a crochet along, a cowl on those little baubles. Then you also have these cute little stockings here with the pattern and this adorable little bear and these little slippers. And this is on your newsstand right now. And they got all the patterns and everything right in here. Then they got this cute little banner if you want to do that. Santa stop here. And then these little baubles. So this is what we're going to do. This is my crochet along. This is a little bonus. This is not the podcast. This is not the tutorial. This is going to be the crochet along. I would love for you guys to join in. I'm going to go through it step by step and explain it. But for those of you that maybe live in Australia, I don't know if you can get this in New Zealand. I don't know how it works, how things go. But if you can, I would say get your mitts on this magazine because it's adorable. And the recipes in here are phenomenal. They also have things in here for like quilting and sewing and your craft magazines. And these I got in the airport. These weren't even like at a craft store or anything. Anyways, we are going to do a crochet along with this garland. Okay. So this Friday, I'm going to publish the first crochet along, which is going to be the supplies that you need. Now, maybe you don't want to make the garland, and that's fine. I'm going to do these as baubles that you would put on a present. So you have a little bauble ball and then a little bit of the garland. So you can make the whole entire garland if you want, or I'm thinking we can just do it in little individual ones that you can use for like little stockings. I mean, like, like on presents and things like that. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to go out. I'm going to get my supplies. So on Friday, we're going to start this. And then we'll just do, I don't know how long it's going to take, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. It's very easy. So each week I will be posting instructions and different things like that. So that's what we're going to do. I just don't think that there's time to do all the other things, the Santa sack and the stockings and the things like that. But by all means, if you guys want to go out and get this magazine, do it. It's the Better Homes and Gardens All I Want for Christmas issue. And it's, usually it tells you on the ends. No, this is just says Australia, bg.com.au. But it's currently on the newsstands. So it looks like this. And you should definitely go and check it out. I do not know. I haven't done the research yet to see if the stitches are in the UK terms or the US terms, but I will definitely do so. But there's some amazing like decorations in here, recipes, and they even have like, if you want to do felting. I couldn't put this magazine down. I must have read through it like 4 or 5 times, just amazed. There's little, drinks, non-alcoholic, and they've got all kinds of like cookie recipes in here, what to do with leftovers. Oh, that's just got me so hungry. Yeah, loving your leftovers. So I haven't seen your other issues, but if they're anything like this, I would be there in a heartbeat. And buying these up every single year. And of course you got your perfect little trifle. I mean, just so many things here. But we're going to be working on this adorable garland. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. All right. Well, this is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And this is this week's What's Up Wednesday. And I'm just kind of showing you what's what I got going on, what I'm working on. Comment below, let me know what you're working on, what you think about these different blankets and patterns, if you have any ideas and suggestions. I know a lot of you are working on the mix and match blanket. I know you guys have got this book, and some people had some questions about how the patterns work. So we're going to be talking about that as I move through this blanket as well. But the tutorial I'm going to do this week is going to be on this blanket stitch. So we're going to do the tutorial on the basket weave stitch. And then we're going to start a crochet along, and we're going to do that adorable garland. So that's what I got going on this week. Thanks so much for hanging in there. We made it back pretty much unscathed. We only lost 1 piece of luggage. We got it back like a day later, so that was okay. And we feel very connected to Australia. We really, really love Australia. So thank you for sharing your beautiful country with us. And I think we'll definitely be back there in the not so distant future, I would say. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Make sure you hit that notification bell because a lot more content is going to be coming out, and I want to make sure you don't miss an episode. So hit that notification bell. Tell your friends all about us. Send them over. We're having all kinds of fun here. We're here. We're not traveling for a little while. And so we have a lot more fun coming up. So thanks so much for watching. And as I always say, I'll see you soon.